You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Hey, good evening. Welcome to Outside the Box. Here coming at you live Saturday night, if you want to call it that. I don't care what you call it. It doesn't really matter to me. Truly Kate of Gaia. I hopefully get you guys into the now moment, and I'm going to show you how to be God. If that's okay, if you find the stairway to heaven, I can show you how to get there. And, well, if you don't, well, that's your choice. And, oh, well, you're missing all the magic. You're missing all the fun. And, oh, well, you know. So here we go. Looks like I'm getting treated to something. What is this? Ooh, yeah, smoothie. Cool. Thanks. Awesome. Well, talk about timing. Beautiful. That's yummy. Anyway, so where was I? Yeah, it's, well, I mean, every day seems to get more and more profound, and I really have to start doing a video of some kind to lay this stuff out, because it's a lot easier to explain things with little diagrams as well as with the words. But really, if there's one thing you guys really need to get, and I really need you to get this, the answers are found only in sound. Because sound is all things. It is light. Okay? If you want to see a little proof of that, you've probably heard of things like photons. I've heard lots of people talk about photons. Well, how about fa tones? Fa, you know, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? Fa. Fa tones. Remember phonics, you don't have any rules anymore, right? So you can pronounce the word any way you want. See, pro, noun, say, which is for, noun, which is, of course, we all know what a noun is. It's something real, okay? And I can go deeper into that, but let's just keep it real simple. So pro, noun, say, which is for something of creation, himself, herself, itself. And when you see, there's that word again, see, say, sa, psi, all of these are relating to the pure essence of spirit. Right, psi, as in cyborg, which is spirit Borg, whatever the hell the Borg is. I guess it'd be meat stick and whatever machine. But you know, the allegories are there, and I got to tell you guys, I am absolutely, completely, and utterly done with any literal dramas, any bitch rants against somebody or whatever. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about, because what happens is there's only one thing that's going to stop you on this path. There's only one thing, I'm going to say it again, there is only one thing that will break your spells. And that is your mote, spell, ions. You probably know it as emotions, but you should probably take the word more literally. No mote shuns, which means you're actually casting the spell. But you had to see both sides of the coin in order to flip it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm going to try to get you into the now, once and for all. All right? Because unless you see this, you are going to stay as the serpent eating its tail, I promise you. It is this simple. You're going to have to turn off all the dramas, the dragon mothers, drachma, money, you know, all this. It's all there. You're going to have to drop the dramas. I don't care about your literal experiences. And for those that tuned in last night, you will know that I had to leave the table. I was just done with all the negative toning, bullshit literal, just missing the point. You see, because if you have an opinion, you've judged something. I don't have an opinion on anything. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. You can call me tranny, you can call me whatever you want, because I know I'm just energy. And I have the argument of I'm just energy a little bit more imbalanced than most physical meat sticks on this planet. I kind of know who I am. I know I'm both. I know I'm magnetic electric. It's an energetic. Right? People still stuck in the literal. So, well, you know, you got to eat meat. You don't got to eat. I don't give a fuck what you eat. I really don't. You can eat dog shit for all I care. That's your choice. That's your choice. Good. Something I wouldn't do. That's fine. You see the difference between when you pass judgment on something as to what you should or shouldn't do? Well, how about how about my approach of things you would or wouldn't do? Which has absolutely no relevance with anyone outside of you or anything. It's all a movie, so stop screaming at the screen. You're in the movie house and you're going, want to change. You know, but you don't know how to change the script. So you're going to still keep screaming at the literal creation, and you're missing your godness. So I'm really going to try to drill this thing home to you. Show you the stairway to heaven. Oh, by the way, the stairway goes up or down. You can keep it as a landing and stay right where you are, or start climbing. This one is like that picture with all the stairs going in all different directions, building into each other. Well, that's the stairway to heaven. You got to go lateral to go up. You got to go sideways to go up. That I have to show on a diagram. But what did I put down today? A couple of beautiful words. Like here, give you an example. Why sound is the ultimate creation. As I had said, you have a fa tone. Remember, fa is the lowest tone on the medieval scale. It's where the scale used to start. Doesn't it make sense that the scale would start at light? The creation of light. All light is a very high frequency of sound. That's all it is. And the visible light spectrum is still a very low vibration compared to things like X-rays and gamma rays and alpha waves and all of these infrared, all of these higher spectrums that you cannot see. But because you cannot see them, does that mean they're not there? Well, we've developed little tools, physical things to help us find our spiritual way home. And again, all the things that we create in the physical are the same things that are manifest as a mirror of the spiritual. That which we do in the physical, we already can do in the ethereal. So the Internet's just a reminder that you're all telepathic. You might want to start doing that. And I'll tell you, the only way you can be telepathic is to be completely wide open. And I mean that on all levels. So here's a question for all of you. Are you willing to be wide open to everybody's emotions around you? And then you wonder why I got to walk away from this. That's what an empath is. It's being open to give and receive equally. It's what a transceiver is. Trans, to go across. Say, creation, ver, in truth. There's no judgment in that. There's only observation. You see, inasmuch as an atom will change upon observation, well, then so must the mirror be equal opposite as well. Is it not you that is changing by the observation of the effect? And this is what's happened with this planet and with the people on it. They are completely at effect to everything that's visual. Everything that they think is real is absolutely illusion. Oh, it's very real. The experience is real. It's what you're here to do, to have the experience. So are you going to be cause over something, or are you going to continue to be at effect to something? That's really the only choice you've got. So we have the fa tone, photon, which is the beginning of light and creation, the start of the scale. We drop down a little bit with the do ra, okay, the money and the keeping God outside ourselves. So let's start at the scale again, shall we, with the fa there, or the fa, the note, theos, God, light of God in the mirror. You are the heir to your own crown. You can spell it H-E-I-R, A-I-R, E-R, doesn't matter. All makes the same sound to me. But then you've been spellbound, haven't you? You didn't bother to go, oh, well, that word can't be anything other than this. And this is all I'm trying to show people. As soon as you decide that, well, if a letter can sound like this in this word, it can sound like that in any word. So start messing around with words, and you'll start to see what I mean. Let's talk about physical things that we create here in the physical as an effect, and let's have a look at, say, something like a machine, for example. You might refer to a machine as, oh, that's quite the contraption you've built there. Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's have a look at contract ion, shall we? Con, with, trapped. Pretty much says what it needs to, right? Ion. It's trapped energy. You see, on each side of Zeus's lightning bolt, you have a V, open at both ends. It opens up at both ends. If you visualize a tree with the branches, two branches reaching up top and two branches reaching into the ground as the root, then you'll see what I'm talking about. This is the tree of life, and this is the narrow road that you have to cross in order to get into the expansion. So let me share a little bit about expansion with you, shall we? And by the way, Sivan Bomar, you did a great job on, I have to get I listened to it, it's a little over 2 hours. I listened to it today on the way up to see Vicky. And just a note for the Astral Quest team, turn the music in the background down, please. You know, when it gets to a point the music's hurting your ears and you're straining to hear Sivan, it's a little bit loud. So I'm just going to say that. And I would actually just prefer to hear Sivan talking with no music. Because that boy sings when he talks. Like, I know very few people that can sing just by talking. And he is one of them. So, you know what? Lay the background stuff. Sivan Bomar does not need bells and whistles. He is a walk-in party zone all by himself. Just my little note to the Astral Quest team. Lay off the music, okay? Or do something very mellow in the background that's not drowning him out where I'm getting deaf and trying to listen. Here, let me just see if I can reduce this so I can tell you guys what video it is. And it's a great... I didn't get a chance to watch the video. I was just listening to it. So let me see. Where is it? Is this... no, that's not it. Solar Insight is the name of it. Sivan Bomar Astral Quest. Looks like the... What do we got there? Could be the 14th of July last year. Season 2, Episode 5. So, one more time. Write this down. You guys want to see this. Okay? And I guarantee you, when he put this together, then... And even if he listened to it now, he's going to get a whole new paradigm shift on it. So it's Solar. I'll wait for you guys. Got a pen? Good. There you go. Solar Insight, Sivan Bomar, Astral Quest 07-14-13, Season 2, Episode 5. Absolutely stellar. I get to listen to that for the rest of eternity and still pull stuff out of it. That's how cool it is. Except it's going to be a little hard. I'm going to have to find something to mix that music out of it because it's just killing me. But anyway, here, one sec, clear the old throat here. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to set a few guidelines for any future episodes that we're going to be having here. I'm not going to put up with any drama. I'm not going to put up with anyone ranting and raving against somebody or anything or anyone, including myself. Because I'll tell you, here's a good example. I saw a posting today. Someone there was some shows with that Santo and I had done with Jordan Maxwell, and of course this funny little character called Joe Dalzio decides to get it removed because of copyright infringement because Jordan Maxwell was on my show. Well, that's fine, no problem, Joe. You can copy all my rights. Please do. That means I own you. So thank you. I just claimed all your attention units, you powerless little thing, you. I'm going to wiggle you at the end of a hook for a while. There you go. That's how I deal with things, guys. Are you going to let it set you on fire, or are you going to look for the win? I also saw a lot of other things in that, too, that were absolutely beautiful for me in terms of click, 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 cut, 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 and all the rest of it. So I always look for the things that are cutting my strings, you see. There's always a good in everything that you would deem to be evil. The only thing that changes that is your perspective, and are you polarized? Looking at it from a judgmental perspective, or are you just going to be a neutral observer? You know? Imagine if you're watching a movie in the movie theater, and something you don't like happens on the screen that makes you feel uncomfortable. Are you going to get up and start swinging an axe or something? Are you going to start yelling at the screen? Are you going to run up there and start arguing with it and all the rest of it? Well, that's exactly what you do when you're dealing with other reflections of yourself called me. There is no separation. The web is connected completely to source. Now, whether or not you jump up and down on your string is entirely up to you. I can't do that, but I'll tell you right now, you can jump or not. I'm going to shake the living shit out of you because I'm jumping all over mine. And I know when I jump on mine, you're shaking, rocking, and rolling. So this is why I don't concern myself with external things. Somebody wants to be a mediator and get all, hissy-fissy or pissy about it. I'm right there. You can be right all you want. I don't give a shit. It's not what I can. You want to do that? That's fine. It's not in my consciousness. I'm sorry. That's got nothing to do with me. I stay the path, and it's not my concern. And here's the thing. If you feel like you have to debate or jump back at something, you have judged, but you've judged yourself. That's called exposing one's ego, to have a look at it and go, oh, I probably shouldn't do that because that's ego. What are the odds of that occurring? Pretty good, apparently, 100%. That's the thing about the universe. Everything is 100%. The only thing that changes that is your inability to see it. So I'm just here to give you a little crack in the eyes to see if you can see it. And if you can't, that's great too. I'm not going to worry about it. You're not my concern. I am my concern. And here's the trick. The more I can fix me, the more you're going to be different in my timeline anyway. You see, because as I move laterally on timelines, that manifestation of you no longer exists. The new one does. The one that I see in my reality, and that's how it works on the sideways stairway to heaven. That one I'm going to have to do a whole show on, just on that one concept. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. The simple truth is, we got to get you guys in the now, and you're not going to be there if you're looking at things literally. That's why I watched this video the other day. It had a bunch of people on it talking about, hopes for 2014, and I have never listened to so many sleepy people in all my life. And I got to tell you, looking at all these people that are supposed to be, movers and shakers and all the rest of it, I have never seen so many sleepy children, all spewing literal garbage. So trapped in the web of their own creations, actually more importantly, the creations of another. Oh, here's a question for you. Did you create Congress? Oh, no. So what concern is that of yours? Oh, that's right. You like to be at effect to those things. You like being a part of somebody else's movie as an extra, getting dangled around like the puppet you are. Well, go ahead, knock yourself out. Not something I would do. I choose my own game. I choose my own reality. And I'm not going to be listening to any of the literal shit any longer. And I'll tell you, my favorite thing to do right now is just shut up. This is one of the reasons why doing these shows is getting harder and harder, because I don't like talking. I really don't. I am almost impossible to have a conversation with now. Not because I'm not sociable. It's because I don't have much to talk about in the literal world left. It's not real to me anymore. I prefer the God status, personally. I prefer knowing that with of my fingers, I got a reality. And what I'm doing right now is shifting that. I'm shifting it laterally. This is my game. And the more and more that people come to this table, more parts of me, as I am a part of you, we are one, the more we do this together. Right? And that's all I'm interested in. I'm not interested in petty squabbles. Yeah, I've had lots of things go on. But I'll tell you that as a result of all of these things that have happened, boy, have I been able to reap a harvest of truth. So tell me how evil everything was that was done to me. It's only a perception of evil. I'll tell you what it did for me that's absolutely angelic and totally awesome is it gave me my God skill back, and I'm baby stepping those right now. And I'm watching my world change before my very eyes with a simple thought. Just a thought. That's all it takes. See, the problem with most people here is while they're at effect to the literal landscape of somebody else's creation, you cannot be cause. Oh, you might be able to do something physical and make something happen, like hit a nail and drive it into a piece of wood. Well done, meat stick. Well done. I did that for years. Any meat stick that can swing a hammer can do that. Boy, that doesn't make you God, does it? That just makes you handy with a hammer. That's all. And then you'll be building physical things and keep building physical things and lifetime after lifetime until you decide that, this kind of sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, it does, actually. Especially, days like, I remember days like today. Yeah, trying to slam together a couple of pieces of wood that are covered in ice. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's not, really. Anyway, so in order to get into the now, you've got to stop looking at everything. You've got to become blind. Blind to everything and deaf to everything. Otherwise, you're going to get caught up in the petty drama. Here, I'll give you an example. On the way back today, right? I have my timeline set so there are no my lateral movements keep all forms of out of my scope, right? And I love how I test myself. So I thought I'd run some interference, right? So anyway, I'm traveling down the highway, And got to the lights, and at this gas station there was a couple of cars coming out. The one behind it was a cruiser, right? So I'm thinking, oh, cool, this should be fun. Anyway, so I travel along, and lo and behold, traffic peeled off. So just far enough back was this individual, and I thought, oh, better run some interference. So on this timeline, I mocked up a transport truck that actually came out behind me further on down the road. So I laugh at these things because I know I'm manifesting it, right? So what do I need to do? Oh, we'll just run some interference. We'll take care of that. We'll do that, and it's all good. I keep myself invisible by choice, and it's aware, very intentful choice. Yes, you have that ability, but you got to get out of the fear. And that's the thing about fear. It is absolutely powerful. It works both ways. But you will never be able to do this sort of thing while you're still stuck in a literal trap. It's quite clear. Literal. I mean, do you want a bunch of garbage in your all? Well, then keep being literal. And that, I got to tell you guys, to even begin to share the epiphanies just with words and phonics, right? Live by the sword, die by the sword. Live by the words, die by the words. So this is where I had this really, really neat thing. And you can try this out at home. Yeah, just be careful, because what you wish for, you get. Especially when you get in that zone. So this is why I keep reminding people, every thought is a wish, so be careful what you wish for. Oh, I got so much going on in my head right now. I just got to try to clear it and get it codified so I can explain this. Here we are, having gone through all this programming, all this indoctrination, and we can whine and bitch and scream and all the rest of it, okay? Fact is, you're at the table. Well done. You're not so much at effect to that any longer. And what I'm going to do, hopefully tonight, is remove all of that effect altogether, so that you can start manifesting as the God creators you are. Unfortunately, those that are still stuck in the jarhead mentality, that are tuned in, I'm hoping that you guys get it and you start figuring it out. But I will remind you that which you wish upon another, especially if you get this information, you're wishing on yourself. So I wouldn't be too quick to go out and try to harm anybody, because that's going to come flying back real quick. That I promise you. Okay? Here's the power of thought-ception, and I think, we've been running anywhere from 35 to 65,000 people a night. So I'm gonna throw something out there. I'm gonna show you the power that you wield. And I've used this one before, but I like this because right now I don't want any of you at all to think of a kangaroo. See what I mean? That's the power of thought inception. That's the power of planting a seed. That's your power. And all you have to do is plant the right seeds to get the right garden. You see, it's sort of like this. Now, and this is what we're going to be doing, by the way, and I have a few people in mind to do this with. But we're going to be... It's already set up. I've already got it created in my timeline, so the lateral line is there. I'm just moving sideways towards it. We're creating a private prosecution association where, say someone decides to, let's have a little bit of fun. Because here's the thing about truth, and we know we have it now, right? Thanks, Rory. Proved it again. All these things are ego proofs for everybody, and I already knew what was going to happen. So it's in my timeline. That's what I decided. So that's what I manifest. Here, tell you what. Imagine how this seed will fly. And this applies to anyone that wants to interfere with truth, including shills and what have you that like to tune in here. Like I said, you picked a dangerous table. This one's going to make or break you, bud. Promise. That's my intent, you see. I want you to be gods, and I want you to be destroyed if you can't handle it. Because I don't want that in my consciousness, right? I think I've shared my saying, I'll be your best friend or your worst fucking nightmare. You choose. I'm not going to choose for you. That's trespass. That's trespass on free will choice. Can't be doing that. Not in this universe. The universe gives you a bitch slap every time you do. Notice that at any time in your lives, guys? Wow, why does that shit keep happening? Well, because you keep stepping all over stuff that you shouldn't be stepping all over. Sorry, just moving the logs around the fire here. Yeah, outside. I so much prefer being outside. Anyway, so imagine you call up a government office tomorrow, like CRA, for example, or IRS, or whatever the case may be. You can go even simpler if you want. You can contact the accounts payable or receivable at, say, the local electric office or the local water office, and say, yeah, listen, I'm calling from I am the witness private prosecution, and I have reason to believe we have been contacted by an individual who has witnessed a fraud coming from your department regarding a legal name and its misuse, which is aiding and abetting fraud. And I'm wondering who is in charge of bill pay or sending out statements and bills and whatnot. Can you put me through to them, please? You see what I'm saying? Now, what kind of kangaroo do you think I just built in that being's head? Do you think they might start creating their reality at that point? Maybe. Do you think that? How many times have you been at effect to a credit collection calling you up saying, yeah, and you had that rotten feeling in your gut, your whole stomach, fear, everything just... Remember those days when we actually gave a shit? Right? Do you want to hear something funny? They still do. They do. So what kind of plants are you going to start throwing out now? What kind of seeds are you going to scatter? You see, here's the thing about planting those kind of roses. That rose garden gets prickly real quick. Remember the rose, right? Rose, which is the spirit breath of creation itself. That's why we have a War of the Roses here. You might have seen the movie. The war between masculine and feminine energies is just a coincidence. Yeah. Okay? This is one of the reasons why I have no time whatsoever for ranting and raving about any individuals without an intent to show something for it, not because I just need to get shit off my chest and like I give a shit. Because here's the thing, if somebody's pissing you off, are you being at cause or are you being at effect? Think about it. You see, you're at effect because you chose to be. You chose to be offended. You chose to think that their opinion mattered more than yours. So you have to defend your truth. Ego. Nah, go ahead and knock yourself out. Like, seriously, when I saw that post from Giuseppe regarding the Jordan Maxwell shows, I'm thinking, good. You claim the copyright? Excellent. You can claim all the copies of my rights that you want, because in doing so, I just claimed you, because I'm the original. And all you're doing by doing that is empowering me. Now you understand the power of copyrights. So if you're using a copyrighted by another copyrighted item, then you are at complete effect. But we know how to turn that table now. It's very, very easy. Well, we know for a fact that Admiralty Court cannot deal with the living. Fact. Only a witness can be alive in a courtroom in their Admiralty, so it completely nullifies it to the common law. That's a place you want to be, because at that point, now they are actually guilty in the living setting of aiding and abetting fraud. Fact. And we also have the proof of fraud and the intent to commit fraud as actually a crime against humanity in the form of a birth certificate, which renders someone legally dead with intent. That's premeditated murder by whoever is in charge and owns the Crown Corporation. Sir Paul Jenkins, is that maybe why you stepped down? Because we're on to you, bud? Shit, it only took you after I brought it up. It's pretty good. I don't know about you guys, but I'd say that's pretty good cause. I'd say that's pretty good effect, too. And I'd say you can all do the same thing. We've all been beaten up for a very long time, and it takes a bit of practice. That I will tell you. It takes some practice. But it's very, very easy once you get the concept. And I will be spending a lot of time tomorrow, one-on-one with my keyboard, writing to get this written out so that you guys have something to completely mull over in show and tell land. All right, so, well, we can look at all our contraptions here. We can also look at conception or concept ion, which is with God, 7 ion. What was the other one? Oh, I love this. Contract ion, contraction. You see, that's on. If you were okay, take a pen out, for example, guys. I like to think that on occasion there are people actually taking notes while I speak. So it's not that what I'm saying. You better take notes because teacher says it. No. I'm just trying to share what I know as what I've discovered and went, whoa, that's really cool. I just want to share cool shit with you guys, right? So on the page, draw a straight horizontal line. Not too long. You gotta leave a bit of room, maybe 2 or 3 inches. Old school, 49. Ideal in inch and metric. Prefer inches and stuff because it's a carpenter thing with me. But anyways, 2 or 3 inches, and on each end you're going to do an arrow with both arrows pointing in. All right, and on the left side you're going to write contract ion. And on the right side, of course, has to be the right side, divine feminine, right? That's your sacred creation area. The right side of Eden, the right side of the river. You Jews from the tribe of Judah. That's the other thing. Sandra talked a little bit about Japanese last night and Hebrew and whatever. Well, of course, I do believe that Judo or Jew-do is Japanese, yeah. And what is the premise behind Judo? That's right, to use your opponent's strength against them. So that's where we're going to get into how to cast a real spell. I've already given you the actual key to it, and that's what I came to terms with today. I am how did the key master. That's what I am. I hand out keys. I'm trying to give all the keys to everybody. It's kind of neat when you find out who you are and what you're here to do. I'm here to make gods. Actually, remind you that you already are. I know that because you're me. So hopefully that's a conducive idea that we can all get along with on, and I thought you might like that. I thought that might be a nice gift to have, actually. All right, so on you got your line and you got your 2 arrows pointing in. That's Zeus's lightning bolt, by the way. That's the real one that you'll see, not that zigzaggy thing. That's bullshit. Okay. Now on the left side you have contract ion, and on the right side you're going to write X, as in the letter X, pan. Okay, and SI-ON, expansion. Or X, pan, psi, O, mine, creation mine. Okay? It's all in the phonics. It's all in the spellings. It's all in the music. It's in the scales. It's all there. That was the biggest thing that helped me out was music. It showed me the answers. It showed me the double cross, where the T is the highest note of love, and it's also the cross in which you're crucified. That's the double cross. And we've all been double-crossed. And a cross can be an X as well. The double cross can be shown in the mirror. You can hold an X up to the mirror, and is it not backwards in the mirror? Looks identical, but it's still backwards. That's a double cross. Okay? Now, that lightning bolt, the horizontal line part, that's the narrow road from physical to spiritual. That's the road you have to walk. There's only one thing that'll stop you from walking on that road. Emotions. So you better get a grip on it. You better start looking at things that piss you off and stop letting them piss you off, and start looking at it from the viewpoint of, oh, I'm being at effect. If somebody could actually piss me off, I'm at effect to it. Which is the reason why I just don't have time for it. I won't be at effect to it, so I walk away. Let the children play. They'll do their thing and rant and rave and do all the rest of the shit. And that's not being a slight. And by the way, if anyone thinks and feels that, well, that's your ego. Duh. This is all I was trying to say last night. Man, I do like to finish a thought. Actually, that's the problem with me trying to explain stuff. Unfortunately, the stuff I try to explain is about 5 or 6 steps in before you can actually get the concept. I know how the ego works. I have one. that I choose to use if I need it. It's actually a useful little tool. I like to mimic with it, but it's still a tool. So either be the tool or use it. I choose to use it. It's a lot safer. Okay. So on the left side, you have the physical, the contract ions, right? Everything here is about contract. It's all about bringing things coalescing into a 0 point. That's what physical creation is. Things get solid when, excuse me, when they contract. More contractions that you can do on any given thing, the smaller it gets and the denser it gets. That's why things like, they talk about suns or, who knows what a star actually contains. As far as I'm concerned, it's empty. But let's go with the whole idea, the bullshit theory of black holes being gravity. It's matter condensed so much that it's collapsed in on itself. Now, that's actually creation. That's how creation works. They got it backwards. But anyway, I'm used to that. Because everything, I look at everything and I say, oh, no, you got that backwards. I can see it. So I choose to put a mirror up to everything, including myself, most importantly myself. Okay, so on the left side we have the physical contractions. That's your physical realm. That's the effect. So write effect on that side as well. That all things physical are all things effect. They're all past tense because they are created. So you don't create anything here. Well, I just created a masterpiece. No, you didn't. You just changed physical matter in the space that it was in. You took that lump of clay that was already created and you reshaped that energy into something you could use. You didn't create the clay. It was already created. We did that a long time ago. It's called the game grid. Matter can be neither created nor destroyed, just changed from one form to another. Did you miss that in science class? Oh, and for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Of course there is. You push against a wall, the wall's going to push back. And it's going to push back just as hard as you can push until you break that balance point where either your arm's going to give or the wall will. Now, based on some of the masons I've worked around, that wall's going to give out. Promise. That's why I left a lot of job sites. But anyway, it's all good. So on the right side, we have expansion. X, which is left. Pan, which is across. You remember the little character Pan? With the flute and all the rest of it? Pan flute? Yeah. Musical creation. Going across, right? How do you play a pan flute? Oh, that's right. You play across it. You don't, you move it, the whole flute. Right? Okay, and then you have psi or si or say. Can work either way. It works. I have no rules in how I spell and what I make a word into because it's my spell now. So you have psi, which is spirit. Then you have the letter O, which of course is the ovum. That's the ovum of creation. And the letter N means it's all mine. It's mine, mine, mine. N means mine. Okay? All right, so now we have, that's your creation side. That is cause. Ka, you, say. Ka, spirit, you, intent, say, of himself, herself, itself. You might as well write D or delta for that. That's your triangle, right? Just like fire. Three things. You need fuel, you need oxygen, and you need heat. You take any one of those three away, what have you got? Well, you got a pile with lots of air, no heat. You've got a pile of wood with lots of heat. Well, that's not going to work because it needs oxygen. And you have lots of heat and oxygen, but you got no fuel. Right? So you got to put all three of those things together to create the fire, the phoenix that you're going to rise from the ashes of. All right? So let's have another look at this. If you take each end and expand the Y, or the little E that you have, it's actually a Y, two Y's opposing each other, the as above and so below. And what you can do is expand those out. And what I would actually suggest is you expand them out, and then you expand, think of the magnetic fields. Remember the old bar magnets used to do the little iron filings thing and it made these lines? Do that too. And what you're going to notice immediately is a toroidal field. And the only way you can create is when you get across that toroidal field with the right intent. A toroid, or an anu, is a spiral that spirals in upon itself and expands out from itself as well at the same time. Now that's a very 5D concept for people to get, but ponder on it. You can't explain it, you got to get it. It's just the way it is. And as much as it's coming into itself, it's coming out of itself at the same time. That is creation coming out of itself and going back into itself in a never-ending cycle. That's the power of, well, magnetic with electrical intention. All right? So the game here, to get to the creation side, is to walk that yellow brick road. That's the line, the horizontal line. That is the narrow. Or as I explained earlier today, that's the narrows between Scylla and Charybdis. Now Scylla, or Psi law, is spirit law. And Charybdis is Ka, right? There's your spirit. And, well, I wrote log here. What did I write that? Oh, shit. That's a problem when I don't do all the notes on it. Well, you have Ka, Re, which is light of God, B, 13th warrior, and, of course, D is your delta. That's your trinity. And Is, which is Isis, is. Okay? And you'll start to see it pretty clear. But you got to start spelling this shit out for yourself, but not using the rules that you were indoctrinated with. It's the rules that are holding you, the Ru-Els. Okay, Ru is something that you make to thicken something, like thicken a soup. It's spelled R-O-U-X. Doesn't matter. It's phonics, and it's French. Who cares? Do not all languages have sound? Okay, you can use all them too. And you can make this shit up as you go because we already did. It's already been made up. So all I'm doing is starting to reapply the rules that we had. We didn't have any. That's what creation is, chaos. And I've already shown people how you can get chaos out of order and order out of chaos. It's very easy. The more chaos you introduce into something, the more order it gets. In much the same way that you put a handful of pepper in the center of a soup bowl and you keep stirring it and, chaos, eventually that pepper goes throughout everything, does it not? And if you did it long enough, I'm sure that every piece of pepper that was in that soup would get to the exact same distance apart. Such is the way chaos works in order. You hear the mother sound, or Masonic, talking about order out of chaos. Well, fuck you. Chaos out of order. Because when you try to order things too much, you create chaos. I don't know about you, but look at all the laws and rules that they want to do. And is this a very balanced world, or is it pretty chaotic? There's your order for you. That's what I thought, too. Kind of mental, isn't it? Okay, so where do I want to go here? Oh, yeah, the yellow brick. The only thing that's going to stop you from crossing that is emotions. It's going to keep you polarized to one side or the other, and it's going to keep you stuck in the physical. It's going to keep you stuck at effect until you let go of shit. Talk to me about the literal creations here, because that's somebody else's idea, right? Governments are somebody else's idea. Money is somebody else's idea. Gold, silver is somebody else's idea. I just see them for what they are, allegorical clues. I don't take them literally, because they weren't created literally. They are literal. Literal doesn't create itself. Allegory creates literal. So you have to take the literal, move it to allegory, and then you can move it back to your own form of literal. That's the literal creation zone. That's the far right. Another good one. Do you want to be a victim or a victor? Well, I'm going to show you why you need to be the victor. I'll give you a very good reason. See, here's the difference. Someone that is a victim is trapped in time. Well, vice, time. Oh, right. You would, I probably just pronounce it victim. I pronounce it vice time. Yeah, so vice, I guess that would be something you put in to get a really good grip on it. And time, well, we all know what that is. So how can someone be trapped in time? Well, it's easy. By not being in the now, by worrying about something in the future, or moping about something of the past, holding on to old things that no longer exist in your now. The only time they can exist is if you bring them back in your mind and are affected by them. How long are you going to live there? How long are you going to accept everything as it was to make it your is? And how many times are you going to continually worry about something that isn't and make it your is? Sorry, guys, that's pure fucking insanity. Ponder that. Go ahead, cry me a river on that one. And I'll just look at you and say, tick, vic, time, vic, time, vic, time. Your head's stuck in the vice of the past or the future, which neither exists. There is only now. In much the same way, when you understand this, that time travel, like your concept of time is linear going forwards and backwards. That's why the calendars are so dangerous. But they're very helpful too, right? Because we have to have the clues as well. So that which works against you will also work for you. The key that locks the door is also the one that opens it. You have to be the one to change the intent as to how you're seeing it and how you're using it. Okay. So we have the vice of time. Something that happened in a linear sense 2,000 years ago is happening right now. It's in your awareness right now. You can actually travel there laterally right now. Because all things are created now. This traveling through, it's just the illusion. Give you an example. Pro, phi, se. Or psi, rather. Or si, whatever. See what I mean? Pro, for, phi, creation. Spirit, psi, se, himself, herself, itself. Creation itself. So, okay, what does prophecy really mean? Well, I just told you. For, creation, the spirit. It's already created is what I'm telling you. There's no such thing as prophecy. There is an illusion of, wow, they said this was going to happen and it did. Yeah, well, because it was already created, duh. That's why all these alignments that happen in the sky are happening right now, duh. It's called the game and the grid and learning how to read it. This is the kind of power that others have been wielding against us. For good things, too, I might add. Because we weren't quite ready to be where we're at, until now, of course. And you can't have a game if you know it all. That's why the ego's such a tricky little bastard, because it loves to know everything and look clever and everything else, but it really doesn't know shit, because it's dealing in linear time. Well, so-and-so said this, and so-and-so said that, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and how's that working for you? Well, the government did this, and fucking fear porn here, and fear porn there, and Good, stare at it. Look at you. Wow. Do you always do that at the movie house? Do you always scream at the movie? Fuck, I'm not going to watch a movie with you. You're annoying. I'm just going to sit there quietly and observe. I'm going to get into the stillness of me and go, yeah, I can look at that. There's some nasty things out there that we've mocked up and created and what have you. As much as they've been in your timeline, they can also be out of your timeline. Your choice. You're going to hang around in the past or the future? Or are you going to get right now and start making some God choices? I thought so too. Okay, so let's talk about the Victor. And by now you're probably going, Vice, Tor. Vice, well, let's go victorious just to make it even easier. Vice, Taurus. Oh, that's right. Well, or toroidal, Tor. You know me. It's like, I always go immediately to Taurus. Or toroidal field. It's funny how the zodiac works with that too, and it's all about cutting things in half. Duality, right? Polarities. Have, I have. I spell it H-A-L-V-E. The L's silent. The intent, silent. Get rid of it. I'll take the intent from here. Okay? So we have the vice Tor, which to me translates into, oh, look, you have a grip on reality. Yeah. The Taurus is creation. That's reality. That's what's real, and that's what's real right now. This is why everything that is happening, everything I'm saying to you right now that you're listening to, is happening right now. And it only matters right now. How is what I'm saying to you mattering to you and only you right now? And you know the answer to that. I don't, because I'm not your experience. You are. But I can show you how all the strings and threads connect, just like a spider web. That's the reason why that's part of the cultures of old. If you envision this God notion, this consciousness, just pure consciousness, as a spider, well, she spun quite the web. And in the spring, or if you're in a place right now that actually spiders can spin webs, they're very good at 5 and minus 6 degrees here. But if you're somewhere where you can see a spider, especially go in the woods when they've had time to make all these big ones, you know, and just very quietly walk up to it. You won't see the spider typically. It'll off in the wing somewhere. Just go and touch that web very gently. Wait till you see how fast that spider reacts. It's the same thing with God. You, consciousness. But you got to jump on your thread. You've got to jump on your string. Because when you jump on your part of the web, the whole web shakes. Right now, mine's a trampoline. And I know, I can feel the aha moments so many of you have went through. And these are the same ones I did. That's why I share this shit. It's so cool. It's pretty awesome. But where else did I want to go? Yeah, I love that contraption. Contrapt ion. I thought that was pretty funny. Well, it was to me anyway. Yeah, and what else did I go through? I went through a bunch of stuff today. Oh, the word sound. Here's a good one. Again, music scale. So, right? S-O. S-O-U-N. Okay, there's how we typically spell sound. You can spell it S-O-W-N-D. You can actually do it S-A-W-N-D because that A or S-A-U-N-D sound. You have the ow sound there. Again, just do whatever the hell you want. Because as soon as you start doing this to the word in multiple ways, you start seeing how that the word actually means the same thing and opposite at all points. You see the singularity. So here's what's been happening with the spells. Because we take them literally from their dict, Ion, Aries, god of war. Yeah, see? Aries is the high ram, right? Forzano will talk about that many times. And it's also the god of war. There you go. So let's look at the word sound as we normally spell it, S-O-U-N-D. So S-O has the so sound, right? As in do, re, mi, fa, so. So, there we go. And S-O-W for sowing seeds. S-E-W for sowing clothing. Creating things, joining things together. When you sow seeds, you're joining, right? U, well, national symbol. Oh, intent. Yes, it does. You, Y-O-U, have intent. That's your, I'm going to do that-ness. Okay? And you don't have to do that. You can be that. Intent is just what it is. It's intent. It's putting energy into a thought to create it. We've just gotten a little slack at our ability to go, oh, there it is, right? N, of course, means it's mine. And D, or the physical effect. Because delta is a trinity, triangle. If you want to see it properly, it's a triangle inside a circle inside a box. Because delta is the fourth letter. There's your 1, 2, 3, 4. You can create a box. Let's make it 2 inches by 2 inches by 2 inches by 2 inches, so it's got an area of 4 square inches. Let's take that same 8-inch string and turn it into a circle. And now you have to use a formula. That's right, pi r squared. Oh, pi being 3.14257142857142857. I can recite pi, by the way, to infinite. So I'm not impressed with all these left-brainers that think they calculated something and they're doing it all wrong. The point of this is, although that number is getting infinitely smaller the further away from the 3 that you get, it is still adding something to it. That's why a circle is not two-dimensional. Never is, never can be, never will be, because you can't measure its area. You can do it in a box, but you can't do it in a circle. How funky is that? Isn't that cool? Yeah, I thought so too. So anyway, a circle, a two-dimensional circle, is actually a spiral. No, you can keep going in circles if you want, or you can see this and see that a circle is constantly growing, so it has to be a spiral. The area keeps going. Even if it's minuscule, it doesn't matter. 142,857, 142,857, 142,857 to infinity means there's still something there. It's really, really freaking small, but it's still there. And it's still growing at smaller and smaller ratios. Much in the same way that you got two numbers like 45 and 99, both equal 9 when you take it down in numerology. 4 plus 5 is 9, 9 plus 9 is 18, 1 plus 8 is 9. But isn't it interesting that if you take the 45, I was thinking about this earlier. I don't think I'm going to be able to explain it. It was an aha moment. It can only come close when you double things. It can only come close. It can never reach. And that's exactly what happens with pi. It'll come close, but it'll never reach an end. And let that sink in for a sec. It keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. It's still there. It's just getting smaller and smaller and smaller to the point where we can't see it. Right? Okay, so what does sound really mean? Well, it means to sow intent, my intent, into physical effect. And the whole universe is created with sound. That sounds about right, doesn't it? Yeah, you're sowing your seeds, or semen, or whatever the case may be. Intent. You're sowing your intent into physical effect. And after we do these creations, after we do these creating of things, we stand in awe of them, and then we do that long enough, we start becoming at effect to our own creations. And that's what we're playing here. It's a fun game, isn't it? I've just about had enough, personally. No, I have had enough. That's the facts. So there you go. Now I'm just going to skip over to the board here and see if we have anybody that's been wanting to join in here, and I've been a tardy bitch and not bothered looking. So just give me a sec to see if I've got my mouse working. Oh, there it goes. I got it working. Yay! Oh, we got Mike in here, so let's bring Mike in. Hey, Mike.
Aloha, Kate.
Yeah, I've ran it for an hour. I mean, that's kind of, I think that's a mild Katie rant Saturday night, don't you think? I'm done with rants of that nature.
That was a beautiful one. That is beautiful. Well,
you get what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah, resonating right there, Kate. Right in here, man. Whew. I tell you, I shared earlier about Sivan's latest. He did, I guess, on the 3rd. It's a little over an hour or so, and I highly recommend it. Have a listen. Oh. And then I hear you, again, just really on a Saturday night, summarizing so beautifully the truth and where we're at. And I'm just thankful once again. Whee.
Yeah, it's fun. So let's play with the whole planting seeds of intention, shall we? I think I got to. I was giggling like a schoolgirl on the way here. I'm thinking, oh my God, it's like watching someone using a hammer and doing something. Let's say someone beating you over the head with a hammer, and you go, I've had enough of that. That's you're at effect, right? So you think, wait a minute. And you grab the hammer and you start beating them with it. I mean allegorically here, okay? So the tool that has been used against us is the very one we can use against that which is being used against us. And here's the neat thing. The ones that are playing on the, quote, other team don't know this. Most of them do, but I've said too many times that the ones that are in this system, the uniformed, the governing and the politicians and the lawyers and the judges, they are the most dumbed down of all. They're the children. This is the whole idea of the children that suffer you, the children. It's not the little kids. Okay, of course we love children. Of course we do. But that also applies to a mentality. And it's like I was saying when I was watching the video, I'm watching all of these supposedly, granted, 2 years ago, I looked at them and said, yeah, that's the shit baby giver, right? Now I'm looking at them going, wow. Then you really get an idea where you're at, and you're thinking, shit. They got a long way to go. What's that?
Here's how now we are. There's no more dominion. You recognize it. I recognize it. Savan recognizes it. Mark Passio recognizes it. A lot of us recognize it. Most of us who come to the table, that's why. Because we recognize it.
That's why we're here. Yeah, we're here. This is why we're here. It's why I'm here. I mean, I'm one of the table, right? So I just happen to talk a lot more than others. That's it. You know, but I'm not telling you guys anything that you don't already know, because I'll tell you, you already knew it. If it resonates with you, you knew it. That's the joy of resonation. Fuck, I knew that. I knew that. You know, it's that aha moment. Shit, yeah. You know, I love those moments. They're spiritual orgasms for me. That's why I call myself a truth whore. I go looking for it all day. It's like I can't get enough.
So it goes together. No dominion, right? If you recognize there's no dominion, which we do, time's up. That game's over.
Yep.
And all it's left for us to do is basically reclaim, create with intent.
Well, yeah. Here's a good one. Here's one for you, Mike. You know, you talk about, you know, that entity and all their little minions, right? Their little minions, right? Dominion. This game gets funnier and funnier and funnier. And the minute you can set aside all of the things that you would be at emotional, physical effect to, then you'll see it. Took me a shit pile of time to get here. It really did. And this is one of the reasons why I love sitting at this table, because I'm hoping. You see, everyone out, all you guys out there, you're my hope. You are my hope.
I'll show you how funny it is, Kate.
Go ahead.
So you're talking spider webs and trampolines?
Mm-hmm.
I got spider webs all over my house, and I was jumping on a trampoline an hour or so ago with my son.
See, that's just a coincidence, though, right? That's the joke.
Beautiful.
It's funny. There's nothing I love more than what. This is why I love meeting with people face to face, because I get to see the holy shit sparkle in their eyes. Right? I lust. If there's lust. That is, I lust for that. I love seeing that. Yeah, see that shit. Isn't that fun? Anyway, I was at when I was getting a coffee. Stock young lady behind the counter. I see her there all the time. Not all the time, but she's there quite regularly, and all the staff there are awesome. And I was talking to her, you know, as Kate always does, right? The way Kate talks to people. And I started to describe a couple of things to her regarding the movie and how things are. And then I saw this light go on. And she went, oh, my God, I was just thinking about movies and that everything's... See? That's what I'm talking about. That's the now magic. I guarantee you, everyone that's in this call right now has had some form of coincidence listening to this show tonight. It's going to be one of the words. It's going to be one of the thought processes. It's going to be something. Just like you did with when I mentioned spider webs and trampolines. There you are with the spider webs, and you're on the trampoline an hour ago. You know? And it's funny.
We shifted the time frame. And that's the beauty of it, guys. The time frame is moved. We're really now, 0 point, however you want to describe it, we're always there and ain't some time in the future.
Okay, well, here, since everybody's got a pen, hopefully by now, let me show you how to walk the stairway to heaven. It's really easy. But you got to get out of this linear time thing. Now, if you grab a fresh piece of paper and just draw an X. Vertical and a horizontal, right? Now, both of those are going to be infinite, but it's a little. You probably haven't got enough paper for that, so we'll just do one in the middle of the paper. My sarcasm is getting worse, but anyway. The vertical line, mark it as linear, literal, and the horizontal, mark it as lateral, now. Okay? Now, if you draw a little circle where they intersect, there's your now. That's your bullseye, your Taurus bullseye. That's your quad, right? X marks the spot. That's where you put your sniper scope. Now, where you focus that scope is your choice. If you're going to keep going up and down, you're going to stay in the same linear literal. Going through, well, it's Christmas just passed, and we just had New Year's, and then we're going to go into Valentine's Day, and then we're going into St. Patrick's Day, and we're going to keep thinking like a literal meat stick. Planning our days in a linear fashion. Got to go to work on Monday. It's Friday. It's a weekend. I go get beer and I get hammered, and then I back and repeat the cycle over and over. That's linear time thinking. That's cylindrical or calendrical calendar. Okay, you're going to go and start doing that. So here's how we're going to show you how to shift to now, because everyone at this table knows that there is no time at all. Time is an illusion. So don't be trapped in it. And I'll prove that to you. There is no future. There is no past. There is only now. You just have the illusion of continuous moments of now. And you think that's time, but it's not. Everything has happened right now. It's already created right now. And you got to bring everything to that 0 point, that crosshair, right now. Once you get there, it's not hard to do. This is really, really easy shit, guys. It's so easy. I'm like, how the hell did I? Well, because it was so easy. Ego has to be complicated. It has to be clever. It has to know this. Has to know that. And it has to be very quick in the literal and schooled. And look how smart I am. And shut up. Cry me a river. Okay, so let's if you were to envision that vertical line, the linear, and just think of them. You can do it if you want. Just do parallel lines to it all the way along your lateral. And those are alternate choices of time, or experience rather. All right? Like for example, I'm sitting here talking to you. In another timeline, I'm off flying a kite somewhere. In another timeline, I'm in a different planet, different world. In another timeline, I'm this, I'm that. You get in the picture? Right? And all of these possibilities exist right now. What we have to do is slide sideways to get into that timeline of our choice. That's the free will choice. You choose the timeline. That's what free will choice is. Everything's already built. We have the free will choice to choose between which option we want to play. Which game level do you want to do? Which reality do you want to experience? Okay? So, if you've got all these infinite parallel lines going vertical, your linear time moments, the lateral always stays the same. It never changes. Never changes. So let's say you decide you got a choice to make, and one's going to leave you with a. Let's stay at polarized, just so we can play the physical game. One of the choices is going to be to you a negative effect, and one's going to be a positive. So you decide I'm going to do this. So what's happened there? You've moved on your. You've got two paths you can take. So you can choose the one timeline that everything screws up, or you pick the one that everything works perfect. So what you've done is you've raised your frequency, your vibration, if you will, because you've had a success, right? You made the correct choice. So on that timeline, go up a little bit, and then you can do another lateral line. Now let's say that you can do this to the right or the left. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to worry about the negative, positive, masculine, feminine here. I just want to show you the visual. So you've went across the first lateral timeline, say 3 or 4 of those lines, and then you go up. Go up maybe a quarter of an inch. And then do a lateral line there. And then do your circle there. There's your bullseye, your now moment. All your bullseyes are now moments. It's the same as the first one, but I want to. You need to see this in 3 dimension to get the picture. So then you have another 2 choices to make. One that's going to be negative for sure, and one that's going to be positive for sure. So you choose the one in the positive direction. So you keep going in the same direction. The first one, because anything that you do positive, you can be going to the right or going to the left. It doesn't matter, but you got to keep them the same. If you make a negative choice, you're going to be going down. Okay. So there's your stairway to heaven, by the way. So as you notice, you're going to go up. The way I do it is I go over to the left on my timeline, go up, make my bullseye, go left for the proper choices, the same distance. And then I go up a quarter inch, I do a bullseye there, and I keep doing that, and what you've got there is stairs. So the game here to climb the stairs is to pick the most beneficial timeline you can think of, but it's not just for you, it's for all concerned. Because the more you consider all of reality and all of creation in your choices, the higher you climb. And faster, too, I might add. So you can take the little baby steps and go up a little bit, and go up a little bit more. Me, you see, whether I was aware of it at the time or not, it's irrelevant to me. But what I will tell you is I don't half-mile anything. It's never been my nature. It's like I go all in or I don't bother. It's just the way I am. I'm not going to, oh, that's fun. I think I'll put my toe in the water to see what it's like, Imagine this. The polar bear dive on New Year's Day. I've done that a couple of times, where you dive in ice cold water and and then you run like hell to get a towel and get warm. Okay? That is not a time to put your foot in the water to see if it's cold, because you already know it is. In much the same way that I knew any choices I was making with regards to this system was going to make a large ripple. So I wasn't going to stick my toe in. I jumped in heart, mind, and soul. So for anyone that's wondering why things happen on a grander scale, I'll give you an example. How many people do you know that haven't seen the Judge Bows to Sovereign video? Probably a lot less than have. That's what I mean about jumping in. And by jumping in that hardcore, what did it do? Well, it certainly put me in the consciousness, didn't it? And that's the power we all have. It just depends on how much you want to jump, and how far you want to jump, and how deep you want to go. That's the cowardly lion that you have to bitch slap. And that's not to say that, just because you can't go all in doesn't mean that listen, this is a game of consciousness. Infinite levels of infinite points of consciousness and infinite points of me that are going to do things incrementally, because I want to experience it all. So you can't do anything right and you can't do anything wrong. There's judgment in right and wrong. I'll tell you what you can do. You can experience. Mind. Life by, P is rose, spirit breath in the I mind. It's all in your mind. It's all in your heads, boys and girls. You ready to start creating a better reality? I sure as hell am. But here's a trick. I am. Isn't that cool? Now, let's just imagine something for a bit of fun. Now, let's say with Rory's experience yesterday and the day before. Now, Rory, being the good little god that you are, may I make a suggestion? That you find out whoever it was that tried to aid and abet you into the fraud by claiming you to be dead by sending you something in the mail. And maybe given that office, City of Grand Rapids, accounts receivable, accounts payable department, a little call. Start asking around, who was it that actually does all the sending out of these things and who prints it up? I need some names here, because I'm going to be privately prosecuting them. Better yet, talk to the legal department. Say, listen, you've got a bunch of criminals in there, including yourselves here. I just need to get some names for private prosecution and common law. Since I'm the witness, I'm going to be taking care of a little business. How fast do you think that's going to go through the office? How much chitter-chatter is going to be at the water cooler at that point? How many experiences are you going to offer? Sure, we've all had a few. How many cops do you think would like a phone call? Yeah, listen, I had one of your agents commit premeditated murder with intent to kill via a legal name, legal person today, and I'd like to report an attempted murder on their part. First off, I can prove that because they had a uniform on, which says that they're already, usually a law enforcement officer for the purpose of deceiving someone, so I already know that you're a false personator because you're wearing the uniform of something and someone else, so it's definitely not them. So they have given their consent to a dead corporate fiction, so they don't have any voice because they're considered to be legal, and of course legal is dead. Dead and tell no tales. How many police departments do you think can suffer that nonsense? Little private prosecution action. You know how many it's going to take, guys? One. And the intent's already out there. Can you feel it? Welcome to my timeline. Are we having fun yet? I'm having a great time. Yeah, so there you go.
I'll tell you the power of our intent. Give you a little picture of where I'm sitting at. And I know I've created this and put myself in this, and this wasn't anything to do with money. It was, if you want to call it anything, of course, it started with the heart. But I'm sitting here in the heart of Hawaii, and if you look at the Hawaiian Islands, and there's people have written some nice books, and the tale has been shared. It's like the chakra system. If you're liking it, it's the spiritual chakra system. Again, as above, so below. Here's another example of it on the planet. And the island I'm on is the Molokai, and the color is green. And as Santos just reminded us, and a few of the others, that's the color of the heart. And I'm living that, and I know this isn't just the physical, this is the spirit, and I'm watching it alive right in front of me. And everyone has, this place is open, free to come to. Welcome. It's everywhere.
Yeah, I'm there. I got you. I am so there, you know. So here's the thing, you know, and I got to say, because I know it's my movie, I'm just going to describe. I'm going to be the movie critic at this point, right? My movie, I can criticize it any way I want. See how I want to change it, right? Well, we're going to cut that scene and move that over there. We're going to take that extra out of my game altogether, and thank you very much for doing so. You see, I don't care that this entity, Dalziel, has messed with Jordan Maxwell, and vice versa. Because there had to be an agreement there at some point that went south, right? So here's the problem with polarity. You can call someone a bad guy, someone the good guy, and you're polarized, and you're caught in ego, and you're going to have a drama battle until you get it right, says the ego, right? Yeah, whatever. All right? I guarantee you there's evil on both sides of that. That's why I don't give a shit, and I am not going to feed any of that any energy at all. I'm just going to look at it and laugh. Oh, look at children fighting in the playground. Oh, boo-boo. You know? And may I be as bold to say, as much as I respect the work that Jordan Maxwell has done, I wish he'd actually listened to some of the stuff that he talked about. That's the problem with a lot of people, is they talk a great story, but they don't know how to fucking live it. You know? For someone that has exposed so much about Admiralty law and is still using lawyers to work in courts, I don't know about you, but that's pretty fucked up. Don't you think? That totally defeats the whole purpose of it. So that's why I don't get angry. You know, go ahead, knock yourself out. Let the kids fight in the playground. They're both big boys and girls, right? They can make their own choices, and I'm guaranteed every choice they've made brought them to this crossroads, and they've got something to sort out. Not my concern. The only thing I got to sort out is me, and that's the only thing you got to sort out is you. So stop worrying about everyone else's business and start worrying about your own. You got way more work than trying to help and awaken somebody else. Because here's the joy of this: once you slide your timeline lateral, oh, look at all the awake people that are on this timeline. Wow, I didn't have to do a damn thing. Isn't that funny? Oh, I'm going to keep sliding this way. This is cool. I'm watching all. Woo! Look at all the people awaken. Oh, they're all awake on this one. Or I could stay in the whole Congress and you know, and all the nonsense and bullshit dealing with, you know, the dramas of the game, right? Well, you know, the confiscation of guns and the presidents and shut up. Fucking comic books. Comic books. Seriously, and don't get me wrong here, guys. I do not have any ill intent towards any being that I speak of at all. I love that. How can't I? They're me and they're very entertaining, right? I just choose to be entertained somewhat, but I'm not going to feed it any energy. I'm going to go, okay, that's kind of boring. I'll move on to this one. I want to see God's creating. I want to see you guys creating. I see it every day on my Facebook page. Why would I stare at that shit? That's kind of stupid. When you got creation happening right before your eyes and you know you're part of it and you're being cause in it and you got these other beautiful beings being cause in your cause and everything's coming together, there's a ka use. Yeah, spirit use. Use it, right? Ka, spirit, you, intent, say, of creation. The spiritual intent of creation, that's what it means to be cause. Why would I stare at this other shit? And why would I give a fuck what anybody was saying about me? I'm sure a lot of people say a lot of nasty shit about me. Good, keep talking. Oh, and by the way, Joe Dalziel, thank you for being so helpful and copywriting an outside the box show because your slave Jordan Maxwell was on the show. Well, I mean, hell, I could get all bantery about that and say, well, here's Ego would go, wait a minute, that's my fucking show and that's my fucking yeah, I could do that. I could. And I'd have lots of people biting that hook. They're going, yeah, Kate, fucking kill him. I could get quite the drama going with that. What do you think, Mike? Yeah? Hell of a show, wouldn't it?
Oh, there's more fun than that.
I know. That's the point. You know what I'm saying, though? So why would I do that? That's kind of stupid. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to look at the good and say, thanks, Joe, you're making me famous. Keep copywriting my shit, please. Keep grabbing it, because I got your attention units now, you copyright. I'm original. You can be the copy. No problem. Copy my rights, my rituals. Thank you. Oh, look at the power of those attention units you just lost. So you're at 0 point, and so is a lot of other people too, right? I'm just not biting on the worms anymore. Fuck that. I don't have time for that. I'll stick to the really, really cool people that are really doing the things that really need to make a difference, And again, I'm looking at them as my reflections. What part of me do I need to see in order to put the rest of me here together? That's what I'm doing. I'm just collecting bits of me again. And you'd be astonished at seriously, I just love to have a room full of people and sit down and watch a movie with me. It would take about 5 hours to get through a 2-hour movie. But I will show you things in that movie that will absolutely rock your universe. And I will prove to you once and for all, as all I've been trying to do for a very long time on the air, that you are God. Start acting like it. Does God get all worried about someone saying the nasty thing to God? No, God just obliterates it from its consciousness. Oh, I think I'll change that lateral. Oh, I don't want that consciousness in my game anymore. Why would I scream at it? It's kind of stupid throwing all that kind of energy into nonsense. Oh, sure, I think I'll yell at it and make it all powered up. Oh, fuck, I did that for long enough. I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. You see, here's the thing. I'm speaking from the other side of my mirror. Because I know on the other side of that mirror, I have been right up and down the emotional scale. I have been shredded inside out and backwards to all levels. And people, and I share my story not to be, poor Kate. Fuck that. Look at my contrast. Look at how low I went to show you how high I can get. That's what the game is about contrast.
Shifting from believing to knowing.
Mm-hmm. You nailed it. It's all like when you hang out here, Mike. It's just that beautiful, calm, Hawaiian voice of reason, It's awesome. Thank you. It's like when we went off on a tangent last night, and I was really just like, oh, fuck, why did this even start? But I thought, okay, well, we'll let drama go for a little bit, and then I couldn't deal with it because it was getting into literals, and I'm not going to sit there and try to debate anything with anyone. Now, I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm just talking the overall energy. I said, fuck, I'm out of here. I can't be in that. And it's not because, well, I'm pissed off. I'm not. I just don't have time for it. It's boring. It's dumb. It's retarded energy. I'm done playing in the sandbox with kindergarten.
Yeah, remember I mentioned that.
What's that?
I mentioned that a couple. Remember, I said pre-kindergarten. So I even brought it down to pre-kindergarten when we're playing like that. Man, pre-kindergarten's over. Come on, guys. And that's why I'm so happy of the reminder from you, basically every day. If people want to listen, that what part of let's start creating, co-creating, if you want to call it that, as gods. Not that bullshit drama anymore. It's like that's when you believe you don't really know that yes, you have this power to do this, and I'm waiting. I'm no longer waiting. I'm hey man, I'm on
you're
the
not
team.
you're not waiting. You're batting pinch hitter, baby. Here and I'll tell you. I'll give you an example. While you're on this, I'll give you an example. There's two ways that people can look at this. Other God sparks can look at this. You can look at it and go, wow, fuck, Kate's got a point. Or, well, fuck Kate, because she's, rah, rah, okay? I don't care how you look at it. I know how I'm looking at it. And please, if I really needed another opinion, I'd ask myself again. You know?
Here's where it goes with belief. I was talking with a friend the other day, good friend, and she was kind of one of the reasons I tuned into Molokai and ended up here. But just talking about the marijuana laws. And she goes, oh, Florida, they're talking about maybe legalizing it for whatever I don't even want to talk this legalized bullshit anyways, but for medical marijuana in Florida, I said, oh, yeah, why wasn't it not now? Just flat out, those laws are gone. Oh, they would be about 10 years. Now, this friend of mine's very spiritual, man. She's there. But I hear this come through, and I'm just like, ooh, okay, honey.
Got a little problem with the calendar, I see.
Yeah, what part of now don't you understand? That's a belief. When you know, you would realize, oh, now, yes, of course. Everything. That's an old system. It's like, well, I don't know what people keep forgetting. That's part of a old world, old time frame we left behind.
Well, here's the difference between legal and lawful. Legal? Well, you can wait 10 years. Lawful? I'm going to smoke a bowl whenever I feel like it.
Exactly. We do, and we're doing it. And so I'm like, what part of out of that time you forgetting? And so bring it back to right now, and this is where we remember, and we change the whole game.
Yeah. Well, here, for people that are wondering about, let's say, registrations on cars and stuff like that, well, here's something you can do. Send them their property back. That's the ownership with the registration on it. Pop the VIN of your car, throw it in an envelope, both of them together. Here's your fucking registration back. I'm returning your property. The rest is mine, by the way, but you can keep the registration by all means. Knock yourself out. You can keep all the paper you want. And that's where people have gotten trapped in how their energy has been getting stolen by thinking that a number actually, stuck on a car or stuck on a house or stuck on anything makes it somebody else's. Isn't that funny? Yeah, so if anyone's wondering, pop the VINs out, and the little metal one typically on the dash of the car, pop that out, throw it in an envelope along with the ownership and everything else. Say, oh, here's your property back. Thanks, I don't need to register anymore. I'll just drive it. Thanks. You want proof of ownership? I got the key. I'm the one behind the wheel. And I guarantee you didn't have anybody report this VIN number stolen because there isn't one. That was sent back. Neat, eh? It's a concept, though. You need to get the concept. I'm more concerned with not literals here, ever. I'm going to give you literals to show you an allegory. But what that's showing you is that the numbers, look at the power that these numbers and these supposed little rules have had on you. Have you had enough yet?
I had enough a long time ago, Kate, and that's why I'm so really happy to come to this table. And I'm like, okay, there's just a few more people. I'm like that I just have to hear from to realize that's enough. And I'm 100% sure, 360% sure, whatever number you want to put on it, that's how this shifts. And I mean, no more violence, with no more money. It's that it happens.
So here's something to prove the now for anybody that wants proof of the now, because the egos go, well, I'm not quite sure, Kate. Well, here we go. I know, because I've done it, okay, guys? So anything I say, I'm picking on me. I have picked on me because I've been there, okay? So here it is in a nutshell. Something happens, and you go, wow, what are the odds of that happening? 100%. It happened. 100%. What are the odds of it not happening? 0. Do you see the difference? Everything is perfect. Wow, I was spun out, and I was blown, I got out the back of the road, and all this. What were the odds of that? Hey, I got it back 100%. I guarantee if you went in the ditch, what were the odds of that? Well, that was 100% too. You went into a tree, 100% on that one. Everything is perfect, everything for a reason. And as soon as you start seeing that, as soon as you start not believing it, as soon as you start knowing that, wow, I planted a seed and the tree grew. What are the odds of that? Fuck, pretty good. Apparently 100% because it grew. And if it didn't, what are the odds of it not growing? 100%. Everything is 100%. Always. Always, always, always. This is the whole trap of math as well, the mother theos. Right? Jesus, Lord Thunder. It's so simple. So simple. Hey, listen, Mike, let's see if we can haul some other people in here. We got about, 25 minutes, so we'll probably roll over for a little bit. I'm kind of in the mood to chitter-chatter. We got 25 minutes. For those that want to jump in the call, you can call in. We'd love you to at 661-467-2401. Or you can Skype in, listening on the Blog Talk page. All you have to do is refresh the page to see the Skype button. Click on that. Sign in via Blog Talk. If you have an account, Facebook or Twitter or whatever, you haven't got one of those, well, you best get yourself one if you want to use Skype. Easy peasy. Okay? Wow, look at that. Kate offers solutions. Yes, I do. It's what I do. Okay. And once you get to the table, if you want to get in the call, and that's what I'm going to be doing now, shout out for people to come in the call. You can just hit 1 on your dial pad on the phone or open up the dial pad on Skype. You can figure it out and hit 1 there as well. Okay, and that brings you on the board, lets me know that you want in the call. And in 24 minutes, a little over, we're going to roll into the recording, and the live aired part will be off, and the only ones that will hear the show are those that are on the board or wait until we're over and they can listen to the archive. So if you want involved, you better get in now. Let me see. Interesting. Oh, and I also like to make a mental note for any of the CSIS, FBI, CIA, NSA, Department of Homeland Security, SOD, any of these, alphabet gangs or whatever the hell you want to call them, any of the shills that work for them, please be mindful that everything that you intend is going to explode in your face. And I'm going to caution you, caution, right? No, I'm not. I am Ka-T-I-on, okay? Get it? Ka, spirit. Caw, crow, crown. I wear my crown. I caw my own song now, okay, spirit? Just a coincidence, by the way. I'm going to caution or caution you. Please, please. Your existence to defy this or try to uncreate this is not worth the $200 or $300 you're getting paid to sit in and be a part if you want to jump in here. And everything you intend is going to explode. And I'm going to grant your wish. I'm going to grant it so much. I'm going to give you 1,000-fold return on your wish. Whatever you wish upon others in a negative way, you get to wear back. And I know how to do this now. I don't believe it. No. I know it. Okay? So just be mindful. So anyone that wants to call in, just remember that. And I love you all. So here we go. Let's some lines open here. We got live. Let's get you in first. You there, live? Hello? You put your hand up, but you never talk. All right, let's move on. Stop puck now. Here we go.
Hey, man, what's happening?
Hey, how are you?
Not too bad, yourself?
Good. I can barely hear you, man.
How about now?
That's a little better.
All right, yeah. Been listening to your show for a while. You're getting the judged about it was pretty good. Took a while to figure out you're somebody different afterwards, though. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, isn't that great? Hey, I'm a cosmic joke. Get over it.
It was. It
I know.
was funny. Again, it was like, it was a strange, but what are you going to do? Life's a fucked up world.
Isn't that great?
So, yeah, well, I just got, pretty much kidnapped last week. And then, so they showed me a poster without a wanted thing above it. And then they dragged me off and tried to get me to sign stuff. And pretty much, I sat with the guy. They kept trying to, it's all fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? And they're like, well, you're going to freaking, try to bring anybody to court. I go, you are the fucking court. What am I going to do? Bring the court to the court? This is all fucking bullshit. So I fucking signed out. I kept asking them, can I get my body back? If I sign for that legal person, do I get my body back? So finally I freaking signed something, and they put the X like you're saying, there, and somebody else signed the line where they wanted me to sign it. So I wouldn't sign on that line. And I put 2 directors on there. It's above and below. I get the director of my legal person from them. They fucked up and mailed me something saying I was the director of my legal person, which really screws them up. And then I just said, screw it. I didn't tell them what it meant. I just meant I'm the director of my body and my soul. And they stole $500 from me and I left. But it is. It's fucking insane.
Isn't it great?
Yeah, and it said the court order said bring me to court immediately. It was 15 days old and they brought me to jail instead.
Unreal.
How does a clerk set out a bench warrant?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm glad you brought that up because the clerk is the power of the court. They're the highest ranked official in the court. They don't know it. Some of them do, but most of them don't. The clerk is. Yeah, the clerk is the one that actually has the power because they are not bar members, but they have given a consentful oath in the form of employment to the bar. So that puts them walkers between worlds. So they're part of our side and part of their side. And they're the ones that take the energy, the money.
Oh, they're the intermediary,
right?
Huh? So
yeah, they're the
between the death and the life, sort of.
Well, yeah. What a clerk is. What a clerk is in the court is what I am in life. I'm a two-spirit. I walk both sides, magnetic, electric, right? Male, female. So I'm just a clue. I keep telling people that. I'm just a clue. Can you see the clue and can you work with it on the allegories? And that's all I am. I was thinking today I'm going to get some T-shirts made up. One's going to that says, "How's that not judging others working for you?" It was funny. There was a couple of people today in the coffee shop, and you can always tell when people go, "What the?" Right? You get that "what the fuck" moment, right? Of course, I feel it because I'm wide open to all this, and I chuckle, right? Because I know, wow, look at all the attention units I'm grabbing from you, sleepy. So as I was heading to the washroom, and they were sitting on the couch beside where the sliding door is, and I look, I couldn't resist. I look, hey, so I'm here to make people's days interesting. How am I doing? And they both kind of had that sheepish, pretty good. And I looked at them, pretty good, huh? And they go, yeah. Oh, man.
They don't even want to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
They really don't. What you say to some people, to wake them up even for 2 seconds, just to interact with somebody, to pull them out of their sleep is amazing. It's just nuts.
Oh, it's fun. But you are picking up on the allegories and you're starting to see the God aspects, yeah?
Yeah, well, my wife was a god, but she's an evil god. She could do all of that, but not for any good purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Again, see here, let me put that in the mirror for you. You see, because in order to find good, you must know its contrast. So if someone is putting out a lot of evil, they're actually doing us good. Because they're doing something I wouldn't do, but I'm grateful because I can see the contrast of what I wouldn't do, make me empower myself to even higher levels of wanting to stop that. So it's a constant vibration up or a constant vibration down. We choose if we're going up the stairway to heaven or down the stairway to hell. It's the same stairway.
Yeah, I feel like a gyro top. I don't know if it's pointing is going up the stairs or down the stairs. Well,
that's why you make the choices that are Any choice you make that is beneficial for all is going to keep you moving up the ladder. Oh, you're going to see some contrasts. I assure you, I know I did, of hell is like, but you're going to see it in comparison, and it's going to happen in really quick order. But you will. Rest assured, you will be fine. Universe has you. The minute you decide to stand in truth, you become an untouchable. You might go through some shit. I know I did, right? But at no point during that. And I knew this, I inherently knew this, was I going to be harmed in any way. I'm going to be messed with, but I'm not going to be harmed. And I know that because I saw how careful everyone was walking around me.
Yeah, you see that. It gets wacky when that happens. It changes like wham.
That's what truth does. So anyone that's not standing in truth, well, gosh darn, that's what happens. Sometimes cops do hit buses head on, die.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. The cop that brought me to the jail, they always, well, you're going to use their rules to fight them. I'm like, their rules are changing all the time. What the hell do they mean? Then he starts telling me, look at society, and he starts telling me his whole point of view. And everybody kind of knows it, but they don't even realize that they're fucking screwing up.
Yeah, that's not the problem, though, right? What you get from it is you get the chance to see it and go, not something I'm going to do. Thank you. And so you take the win and go. Just take the win. And here's the joy of it, too. If you're acting as a legal fiction, i.e. a cop or a judge or a lawyer or whatever the case may be, you fall under statutes. Sorry. Those that make the laws must obey them. So fine, you want to be a legal dead fiction, then all the legal dead fiction laws apply to you, whereas I, the living, can bring that to bear against you. You see? Won't affect me because I don't live in statue land.
They won't even follow their own statutes, though.
What's that?
They won't even follow their own statutes. They don't.
Actually, they will, but you got to know how to invoke it. That's all.
Yeah, well, I kind of found a statute that I thought, and this is like the magic moment. I was busting the town's balls, asking them where they got their authority and who they were and all this kind of stuff. And I found a town book, and it had a statute in it that said, he got a previous title holder didn't consent to something done to the property, that the burden of proof was on the town to prove that they consented. So I went all the way back to the Indians, leasing all the area around here to the colonists, whatever you want to call them, and said, I don't think they consented to giving you the land. And that was in their statute, so that was really a big fucking problem for them. They couldn't answer that question.
Oh, of course not. Here, hang on one sec, bud. Hey, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay, the floor is yours. You're host for a minute. I just have to go and tinkle. I'll be right back. I'm going to open up the lines for everybody. So
one beautiful reminder about this, and it comes down to a couple words. Right and wrong. Right? They don't have... we're moving into a time, like Kate says, moving laterally to a different time frame, which is out of their time games. And when we do that, we stand in truth. And from truth, there's no harm can happen. No harm can happen. And so that's what Kate was reminding of us. And so by us remembering this, we're no longer in their game where harm can happen. We shift out of that and it's finished. That's how we finish it all once and for all. We stop doing their bullshit, things that bring harm, even our own actions.
Hello?
Yeah. And so that's the beauty of it. No more harm. If we're doing something that causes harm, this is against freedom life, which is basically not against the truth. And we're moving into let's call it a world where that's where we're all being. We are there. That's why we hear so much of this truth and it's resonating with us. And then there's going to be no more harm on the planet. And I don't mean just physically, also mentally, and in our game, in your experience. That's what we're creating by standing in the truth.
Especially when you're trying to figure it out. They don't know what to do either. But it's deep.
We just got to remember what, it's like sometimes it was put, how what we know isn't. And basically everything they've rolled out, we're like, no, that ain't it. That ain't it. They can't roll out anything that is because they're not operating from Let's go to the basis. They're not operating from love, coming from the heart energy, up into the mind, like Santos and Kate remind us, into the truth where we understand this. And then from there, it's freedom, true freedom. We keep remembering this, the whole picture changes. We don't. The physical, that whole game's gone. Because you can't operate in that side anymore. Yeah.
This is why I don't mind handing the reins over to people like you, my friend, because you'll keep it right on track. Now, just want to do a quick shout out here, and then I'm going to hand the reins back to you, and I'm just going to be a listener, and you're going to host the rest of the show over in the recording, all right? So here we go. Big thank you to Paul Giovanni and the crew at criticalmassradio.co.uk. Great big thank you to those that helped me out on occasion. And just a shout out to, I don't know who it is that sent, it was a piece of, a slice of crystal agate from the UK. If you could please contact me directly, that would be great, because I have a couple of questions regarding something, and I would really love to talk to you to know exactly what it is. Okay, so that would be great. So whoever's the crystal agate to me, thank you so much, from the UK. I got it today. It's gorgeous, stunning, and of course, it had to be Gate or Kate, because K and G are interchangeable with F, S, and C. Did you know that? I thought you did. And F, of course, too. So somebody sent me Kate, or a spirit of love today, so thank you very much. Anyone that can chip in, and thanks for those that have helped keep me afloat, too. Good timing. I've got to load up my phone again, so perfect. Thank you so much for that. I can stay in contact with people. And for those that help out at criticalmassradio.co.uk, we have a subscription, donate, and of course, the big button is the intention button. So thank you very much for that. Any help that can come, and I just leave that to the universe, and my timeline says, perfect. What are the odds of that? Mike? 100%. So anyway, so for the rest of the show, I'm just gonna, I'm here. So anyone, don't worry, I'm not anywhere. But Mike, the reins are yours, my friend. So take this show in whatever direction you want.
Well, let's start right there. When Kate's reminding of us of 100%, and this is what I was saying. It's either you're 100% coming from love and 0% coming from fear, and this is just. You can take it at a bigger picture or your individual actions. But it ain't no gray area there anymore. And your ego might be like, oh, ha, 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 ha. Look, we've been wanting to come to this center point. Because we've been oscillating back and forth in this game that, call it unfair, if you like, but it is what it was, and it ain't no more, because truth isn't gray. It's clear. And so please, who else is like to share in today? Love to hear the voice.
Yeah. This is Roy. I was calling in. Kate, I'm going to listen to that concept that you had about the bullseye. I'm going to look at that and just wrap my brain around it and just let it all soak in.
Oh, fair enough, Rory. And yeah, you were a big confirmation for a lot of things. Not from the literal perspective, I might add. Okay.
Yeah. Yep, that's fine.
You know me. I'm not interested in literals. And
right.
Mm-hmm. You know, you proved the concept of, look, Mom, no paper, because we don't need any. Paper's the ruse. The only piece of paper you need is the one that they did the original entrapment with, right? The original intent to commit fraud. So, yeah, it's... I think what I'll end up doing is maybe put together some sort of picture to show people what it is, or try to do a video. I've got a camera on this, so I could probably do a quick little video. That's not my area, right? Visual is like
I know, but I love seeing you when you were on Johnny Guzman's show. It was always nice to see you. So it would be nice to see you in a video explaining it, because sometimes, you get the 3D effect or whatever, and you get it in your mind and you sit on it, and you just veg on it for a little while, and then all of a sudden it just, boom, it clicks.
Click. Big click.
Exactly.
You know, but again, Rory, so well done. I mean, look at the energy shift from the night before, and then yesterday, and then yesterday, and then today. How are you feeling today, by the way?
I was feeling really good. It's not. I have no worries. I'm not even worried about one fucking thing. Right? I'm living in the now. I'm not worried about anything.
Okay. Well, here's a question. What are your concerns for anything ever coming at you from a legal or court perspective now?
I'm not worried about it.
Is there any fear left in that?
No.
Nor should there be, because you destroyed them. Oh, hey, guys, the mics are open. All the mics. Okay, I got to find out who that is. Okay, area code 541. Mute on your end. If you put your hand up, make sure, because I opened the mic up. I'm going to open that up again to see if it's quieter. But just a mental note to everybody: if your mic, anyone to put their hand up, their mic is open. So whatever happens in your background gets to be on the show. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, area code 541. I'm just going to let everybody know who's in here. We have Metatron. Good to have you back. We've got Mark from England. We have area code 541. Of course, Rory, 616. And this is for Mike's benefit. Area code 239 as well. So some numbers I know, some I don't. So there you go. Take her away,
Hi,
Mike.
this is 541.
Oh, hey, how are you? Boy, it was noisy on your end.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Sometimes I have trouble with my cell phone.
No worries.
But
All
I
good.
just wanted to bring to the table something that just happened. It's quite awesome.
We love awesome.
Listening to you. Yeah, this is awesome. I'm listening to you guys, and then my parents come, my dad come in and say, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well," and I didn't even need to think about it. And my response was, "I'm just listening to your reports and the things my angels are doing." And it was so awesome because it kind of feel like epiphany kind of thing. And then I remember something that I wrote the other day. It was like, okay, if I'm God, therefore everything that surrounds me are my angels. And then vice versa with you guys. I'm just another angel, showing in the picture in the movie. That's all I wanted to say.
That's, perfect, because what you shared was exactly what I'm trying to share with everybody. Look, there's someone who knows their God. Well done. And you know what, my friend? I love being one of your angels.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
thank you for being one of mine.
I love you all.
Oh, man, I love this co-creation stuff. It works 100% of the time.
Oh, and one more thing is
sure.
We in a global perspective, we are in the same spot. Isn't that beautiful? We're here on Mother Earth, almost together right now.
That's why I call myself an Earthling.
I'm an Indian.
Yeah, we're all Indians. In Dios mine.
Yeah.
In God mine. Oh my me! Look at us get it right on. Okay, guys, we got 3 minutes till we roll over. And Mike, the floor is yours. Don't let me jump in, okay? Just tell me to shut up. I'll keep, you know me. I'll keep going. All right. And I just want to make sure we got it, and we got Jim in the call as well. I don't know if Jim's going to talk tonight, but I just want to double check here.
Hi, Kate.
See if we got everybody.
Before you disappear, could I just ping quickly?
Oh, I'm here, Mark. I'm here. Yeah. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just letting Mike take the reins.
Okay. Basically, I just wanted to get your thoughts on. I'm from the UK as well, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on the Royal Mail. I don't know if you know, but over the last sort of 2 or 3 years, they've been really increasing their prices, trying to make the company profitable, so that they can privatise it, sell it off. And it just seems weird that they're kind of trying to get rid of the royal mail now at this point.
Yeah, well, that's because we've exposed the fact that all mail... Okay, got noise, guys.
Yeah, it's just Francisco.
Someone's moving house or something. Anyway, see here. Oh, here, one sec. That's our friend. Yeah, there we go. Cell phones are a bit of a pain to mute on the other end, so I'll do it on this. Yeah, great point, Mark. Let's look at the allegory. All right. You see, this is cause and effect. The cause was us exposing all UPU, Universal Postal Union workers, as being carriers of fraudulent intent. They are all guilty of aiding and abetting people into fraud. They are the last holders in due course, which makes the ultimate owner of the UPU, the Vatican, liable for all fraud.
Yep.
So now the effect that comes out of that, this is the power of exposing things, because once we expose it, we just got to get the concept and put it out there. And that's what we do at the table every night. We share that concept, right? And look what happens. Immediately, that's the thread that the web, that's the line that we jump on, and it shakes the whole web. And this is what you get. This is pure cause and pure effect as a result of knowing who you are, knowing what you are.
Well, interestingly, I actually had a card for a missed parcel, and I went down to try and collect it without ID the other day. And basically, she told me that I needed ID to get it, and I asked her why, and said I don't need ID, and she said yes you do, and I said well why? I've got this card. There should be enough proof. This card that come through my door, and she said well we can't give it to you without ID, and so I said well what's the difference? I said because if you'd have knocked on my door and say like a flatmate had to sign something for it, you know, and signed a fake name, I said you'd be in exactly the same position. And I had two people behind the actual post office counter agreeing with me, because there was like three people behind there, and two of them were agreeing, but she wouldn't give it to me, and she basically said she'd send it out for a re-delivery. Anyway, the next day, the postman knocked on my door and said he had the parcel for me, and he handed me the little digital thing that you're supposed to sign, and I said, like, do I have to sign this? And he said, yeah, you do. And I said, why? And he said, because I can't give you the parcel unless you sign for it. And I said, I have free will. I don't want to sign for it. And he said, well, I can't give you the parcel then. I said, okay, well, give me another missed delivery card. And I said, and I'll go back down the post office with both cards, which is highly unlikely that I've stolen the cards if I've got two cards. And he said, I can't do that. He said, well, he said, I'll just mark it down as a refused delivery, which means it will go back to the sender, right? So I said, well, how about if I do this? And I snatched the parcel out of his hand. And it's almost like his program was just broke. He started jumping up and down on the doorstep saying, you have to sign for it, please, sign for it. Sign for it, sign for it, sign for it. And I was like, well, no. And he goes, well, I'm going to call the police then. And I said, well, go on then. I said, it's my parcel. And in the end, he called his superior postman, or like my normal postman that normally comes. Basically, I had a discussion with them, the whole thing, you know, about a flatmate being able to sign for it and stuff like this, and sign a fake name, they'd be in the same position. And I said, like, you're both human beings, you're both witnesses that you've delivered it. And I said, I'm not going to sign for it. And I had them both agreeing with me by the end of it. And it's brilliant. It's brilliant to actually see it when you get people actually thinking.
Yeah, here, can I tell you why they're demanding identification?
Well, he
to nullify hang on, Mark, this is important.
Sorry, it's Metatron.
This is the sorry, Metatron. I keep thinking it's Mark. Sorry. Yeah, you guys sound alike. Maybe that's just my ears. But here's why. I'm going to tell you exactly why. This is why I want people out of the literal. What you just described to me was a literal explanation for an allegorical concept. The concept is this. If the UPU is in full fraud delivering things...
Yep. Okay.
Judgment in that. There's only observation. You see, inasmuch as an atom will change upon observation, well, then so must the mirror be equal opposite as well. Is it not you that is changing by the observation of the effect? And this is what's happened with this planet and with the people on it. They are completely at effect to everything that's visual. Everything that they think is real is absolutely illusion. Oh, it's very real. The experience is real. It's what you're here to do, to have the experience. So are you going to be cause over something, or are you going to continue to be an effect to something? That's really the only choice you've got. So we have the photon, which is the beginning of light and creation, the start of the scale. We drop down a little bit with the Do-Ra, okay, the money and the keeping God outside ourselves. So let's start at the scale again, shall we, with the Fa there, or the Fa, the note, Theos, God, light of God in the mirror. You are the heir to your own crown. You can spell it H-E-I-R, A-I-R, E-R, doesn't matter. All makes the same sound to me. But then you've been spellbound, haven't you? You didn't bother to go, oh, well, that word can't be anything other than this. And this is all I'm trying to show people. As soon as you decide that, well, if a letter can sound like this in this word, it can sound like that in any word. So start messing around with words, and you'll start to see what I mean. Let's talk about physical things that we create here in the physical as an effect. And let's have a look at, say, something like a machine, for example. You might refer to a machine as, oh, that's quite the contraption you've built there. Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's have a look at contract ion, shall we? Con with trapped. Pretty much says what it needs to, right? Ion. It's trapped energy. You see, on each side of Zeus's lightning bolt, you have a V, open at both ends. It opens up at both ends. If you visualize a tree with the branches, two branches reaching up top and two branches reaching into the ground as the root, then you'll see what I'm talking about. This is the tree of life, and this is the narrow road that you have to cross in order to get into the expansion. So let me share a little bit about expansion with you, shall we? And by the way, Sivan Bomar, you did a great job on, I have to get I listened to it. It's a little over 2 hours. I listened to it today on the way up to see Vicky. And just a note for the Astro Quest team, turn the music in the background down, please. You know, when it gets to a point the music's hurting your ears and you're straining to hear Sivan, it's a little bit loud. So I'm just going to say that. And I would actually just prefer to hear Sivan talking with no music. Because that boy sings when he talks. Like, I know very few people that can sing just by talking, and he is one of them. So, you know what? Lay the background stuff. Sivan Bomar does not need bells and whistles. He is a walk-in party zone all by himself. Just my little note to the Astral Quest team. Lay off the music, okay? Or do something.
You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Hey, good evening. Welcome to Outside the Box. Here coming at you live Saturday night, if you want to call it that. I don't care what you call it. It doesn't really matter to me. Truly, Kate of Gaia. I hopefully get you guys into the now moment, and I'm going to show you how to be God. If that's okay, if you find the stairway to heaven, I can show you how to get there. And, well, if you don't, well, that's your choice. And, oh, well. You're missing all the magic, you're missing all the fun, and, oh well, you know, so here we go. Looks like I'm getting treated to something. What is this? Ooh, yeah, smoothie. Cool, thanks, awesome. Well, talk about timing, beautiful. That's yummy. Anyway, so where was I? Yeah, it's, well, I mean, every day seems to get more and more profound, and I really have to start doing a video of some kind to lay this stuff out, because it's a lot easier to explain things with little diagrams as well as with the words. But really, if there's one thing you guys really need to get, and I really need you to get this, the answers are found only in sound. Because sound is all things. It is light. Okay. If you want to see a little proof of that, you've probably heard of things like photons. I've heard lots of people talk about photons. Well, how about fa tones? Fa, you know, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? Fa. Fa tones. Remember phonics, you don't have any rules anymore, right? So you can pronounce the word any way you want. See, pronoun say, which is for noun, which is, of course, we all know what a noun is. It's something real, okay? And I can go deeper into that, but let's just keep it real simple. So pronoun say, which is for something of creation, himself, herself, itself. And when you see, there's that word again, see, say, sa, psi, all of these are relating to the pure essence of spirit. Right, psi, as in cyborg, which is spirit Borg, whatever the hell the Borg is. I guess it'd be meat stick and whatever machine. But the allegories are there, and I got to tell you guys, I am absolutely, completely, and utterly done with any literal dramas, any bitch rants against somebody or whatever. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about, because what happens is there's only one thing that's going to stop you on this path. There's only one thing, I'm going to say it again, there is only one thing that will break your spells. And that is your mote spell ions. You probably know it as emotions, but you should probably take the word more literally. No mote shuns, which means you're actually casting the spell. But you had to see both sides of the coin in order to flip it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm going to try to get you into the now, once and for all. All right? Because unless you see this, you are going to stay as the serpent eating its tail, I promise you. It is this simple. You're going to have to turn off all the dramas, the dragging, rocking, and rolling. So this is why I don't concern myself with external things. Somebody wants to be a mediator and get all, hissy-fissy or pissy about it. I'm right there. You can be right all you want. I don't give a shit. It's not what I can. You want to do that? That's fine. It's not in my consciousness. I'm sorry. That's got nothing to do with me. I stay the path, and it's not my concern. And here's the thing. If you feel like you have to debate or jump back at something, you have judged, but you've judged yourself. That's called exposing one's ego, to have a look at it and go, oh, I probably shouldn't do that because that's ego. What are the odds of that occurring? Pretty good, apparently, 100%. That's the thing about the universe. Everything is 100%. The only thing that changes that is your inability to see it. So I'm just here to give you a little crack in the eyes to see if you can see it, and if you can't, that's great too. I'm not going to worry about it. You're not my concern. I am my concern. And here's the trick. The more I can fix me, the more you're going to be different in my timeline anyway. You see, because as I move laterally on timelines, that manifestation of you no longer exists. The new one does. The one that I see in my reality, and that's how it works on the sideways stairway to heaven. That one I'm going to have to do a whole show on, just on that one concept. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. The simple truth is, we got to get you guys in the now, and you're not going to be there if you're looking at things literally. That's why I watched this video the other day. It had a bunch of people on it talking about, hopes for 2014, and I have never listened to so many sleepy people in all my life. And I got to tell you, looking at all these people that are supposed to be, movers and shakers and all the rest of it, I have never seen so many sleepy children. All spewing literal garbage. So trapped in the web of their own creations, actually more importantly, the creations of another. Oh, here's a question for you. Did you create Congress? Oh, no. So what concern is that of yours? Oh, that's right. You like to be an effect to those things. You like being a part of somebody else's movie as an extra, getting dangled around like the puppet you are. Well, go ahead, knock yourself out. Not something I would do. I choose my own game. I choose my own reality. And I'm not going to be listening to any of the literal shit any longer. And I'll tell you, my favorite thing to do right now is just shut up. This is one of the reasons why doing these shows is getting harder and harder, because I don't like talking. I really don't. I am almost impossible to have a conversation with now. Not because I'm not sociable. It's because I don't have much to talk about in the literal world left. It's not real to me anymore. I prefer the God status, personally. I prefer knowing that with of my fingers, I got a reality. And what I'm doing right now is shifting that. I'm shifting it laterally. This is my game. And the more and more that people come to this table, more parts of me, as I am a part of you, we are one, the more we do this together. Right? And that's all I'm interested in. I'm not interested in petty squabbles. Yeah, I've had lots of things go on. Dragon mothers, draw, mas, drachma, money, all that's it's all there. You're going to have to drop the dramas. I don't care about your literal experiences. And for those that tuned in last night, you will know that I had to leave the table. I was just done with all the negative toning, bullshit literal, just missing the point. You see, because if you have an opinion, you've judged something. I don't have an opinion on anything. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. You can call me tranny, you can call me whatever you want, because I know I'm just energy. And I have the argument of I'm just energy a little bit more imbalanced than most physical meat sticks on this planet. I kind of know who I am. I know I'm both. I know I'm magnetic electric. It's an energetic. Right? People still stuck in the literal. So, you got to eat meat. You don't got to eat. I don't give a fuck what you eat. I really don't. You can eat dog shit for all I care. That's your choice. That's your choice. Good. Something I wouldn't do. That's fine. You see the difference between when you pass judgment on something as to what you should or shouldn't do? Well, how about how about my approach of things you would or wouldn't do? Which has absolutely no relevance with anyone outside of you or anything. It's all a movie, so stop screaming at the screen. You're in the movie house and you're going, change! You don't know how to change the script. So you're going to still keep screaming at the literal creation and you're missing your godness. So I'm really going to try to drill this thing home to you. Show you the stairway to heaven. Oh, by the way, the stairway goes up or down. You can keep it as a landing and stay right where you are or start climbing. This one is like that picture with all the stairs going in all different directions, building into each other. Well, that's the stairway to heaven. You got to go lateral to go up. You got to go sideways to go up. That I have to show on a diagram. But what did I put down today? A couple of beautiful words. Like here, give you an example. Why sound is the ultimate creation. As I had said, you have a fa tone. Remember, fa is the lowest tone on the medieval scale. It's where the scale used to start. Doesn't it make sense that the scale would start at light? The creation of light. All light is a very high frequency of sound. That's all it is. And the visible light spectrum is still a very low vibration compared to things like X-rays and gamma rays and alpha waves and all of these infrared, all of these higher spectrums that you cannot see. But because you cannot see them, does that mean they're not there? Well, we've developed little tools, physical things to help us find our spiritual way home. And again, all the things that we create in the physical are the same things that are manifest as a mirror of the spiritual. That which we do in the physical, we already can do in the ethereal. So the Internet's just a reminder that you're all telepathic. You might want to start doing that. And I'll tell you, the only way you can be telepathic is to be completely wide open. And I mean that on all levels. So here's a question for all of you. Are you willing to be wide open to everybody's emotions around you? And then you wonder why I got to walk away from this. That's what an empath is. It's being open to give and receive equally. It's what a trans-see-ver is. Trans to go across, say, creation, ver, in truth. There's no something very mellow in the background that's not drowning him out where I'm getting deaf and trying to listen. Here, let me just see if I can reduce this so I can tell you guys what video it is. And it's I didn't have a chance to watch the video, I was just listening to it. So let me see, where is it? Is this fun? No, that's not it. Solar Insight is the name of it. Sivan Bomar Astral Quest. Looks like what do we got there? Could be the 14th of July last year. Season 2, Episode 5. So one more time, write this down. You guys want to see this. Okay? And I guarantee you, when he put this together, then, and even if he listened to it now, he's going to get a whole new paradigm shift on it. So it's solar. I'll wait for you guys. Got a pen? Good. There you go. Solar Insight, Sivan Bomar, Astral Quest, 07-14-13, Season 2, Episode 5. Absolutely stellar. I get to listen to that for the rest of eternity and still pull stuff out of it. That's how cool it is. Except it's going to be a little hard. I'm going to have to find something to mix that music out of it because it's just killing me. But anyway, here, one sec, clear the old throat here. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to set a few guidelines for any future episodes that we're going to be having here. I'm not going to put up with any drama. I'm not going to put up with anyone ranting and raving against somebody or anything or anyone, including myself. Because I'll tell you, here's a good example. I saw a posting today. There was some shows with that Santo and I had done with Jordan Maxwell, and of course this funny little character called Joe Dalzio decides to get it removed because of copyright infringement because Jordan Maxwell was on my show. Well, that's fine. No problem, Joe. You can copy all my rights. Please do. That means I own you. So thank you. I just claimed all your attention units, you powerless little thing, you. I'm going to wiggle you at the end of a hook for a while. There you go. That's how I deal with things, guys. Are you going to let it set you on fire, or are you going to look for the win? I also saw a lot of other things in that, too, that were absolutely beautiful for me in terms of click, 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 cut, 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 and all the rest of it. So I always look for the things that are cutting my strings, you see. There's always a good in everything that you would deem to be evil. The only thing that changes that is your perspective, and are you polarized? Looking at it from a judgmental perspective, or are you just going to be a neutral observer? You know? Imagine if you're watching a movie in the movie theater, and something you don't like happens on the screen that makes you feel uncomfortable. Are you going to get up and start swinging an axe or something? Are you going to start yelling at the screen? Are you going to run up there and start arguing with it and all the rest of it? Well, that's exactly what you do when you're dealing with other reflections of yourself called me. There is no separation. The web is connected completely to source. Now, whether or not you jump up and down on your string is entirely up to you. I can't do that, but I'll tell you right now, you can jump or not. I'm going to shake the living shit out of you because I'm jumping all over mine. And I know when I jump on mine, you're shaking.